Good afternoon, and welcome to the debut edition of Going Uptown, and this is your host, Uptown Browne. You probably heard me every Friday evening, 8 to 9 p.m. on WBCA Radio 102.9 Community Boston Station. But here I'm live on BNN, and I'm so excited for today's show. Today, as my guest, I have Miss Belinda Sayles-Seldon and Michael Seldon, owners and founders of Seldon Boys, Inc., a foster home for young black men. And this is important because us young black men are an endangered species. In the second half of the show, I will have my friend, my brother Haywood Fennell Sr. as my second guest, and we will be discussing the upcoming Oscar Micheaux production of the Harlem Renaissance Revisited with a gospel flavor. But first, I want to dedicate this season of Going Uptown to three very special people in my life. The first one is my Uncle Freddie Washington. And my Uncle Freddie is a pioneer of BNN, where he worked everything from the cameras to the audio, and he was an educator too. He educated people on how to work the cameras, and he educated a lot of people about our history. Uncle Freddie was a very important man, and I love him and I miss him. The other two people I want to dedicate this season to is my lovely grandparents. My grandfather, F. Brown Jr., and my beautiful grandmother, Wilma A. Brown. And you may see a picture of them shortly too. But without their love and faith in me, I would not be right now. And I want to say, God bless my grandparents and my granddad. I miss you very much. Now for today's show. I remember when I used to work in a residential home, say in the early 2000s, and I used to work with young children that was in DSS custody. Now they're called DCYF. But whenever I worked in a program, I always see the young girls leaving the program rapidly, and the turn rate was always going for them. And I was like, dang, what about our young men in our program? And it saddened me to find out that they stayed there for a long time. But my guest today, my first guest, is making a change to that. And they have their own foster program for young black men, or young general. And I just want to introduce Ms. Belinda Sayles-Seldon and Michael Seldon to Going Uptown. Welcome to Going Uptown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So can you please tell us a little bit about your organization?
Well, what we have started first and going forward is that we take teenage boys in.
Okay.
And with that being said, is that have focus on teenage boys. We have raised 3 boys of our own. We put 2 of them through college, and the youngest one is the fifth of our program, and 2 of them have also taken on our in doing foster work in residential programs themselves. And the oldest, along with the oldest one, who have had, little struggles of his own, and now is on the path of have taken in the right thing.
Yes.
And I thank God for that. And we're family. We both come from huge families, and we're both the youngest in both families. And my family alone I'm the youngest of 8, and we have a number of, in my family alone, is over 50 grandchildren.
Wow.
And so with that being said, there is a lot of boys in that. And, you know, they come and between my sisters and us, we've done a number of things of trying to keep them out of trouble. Okay. And I used to host movie night. And one day, over 15 years ago, a DC worker came to my house and said, I heard you were giving an event. Yeah. And I said, yes. He said, would you like to be a foster parent? And I said, sure. And we switched numbers. And I was already a child care provider. And along with having my nieces and nephews, along with my 5 children at my home. And I said, sure. So we switched numbers and he invited me to weddings on a Saturday. And it took off from there.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt. So what made you decide this young black man?
Young black men is like, let me go back. Okay. I said, what my oldest son had found, I always struggled, he always struggled with having little difficulties in school, and with my husband and I, and with the school, with the help of the school, God and the strength of, God just, I just thank God that with the people I surrounded myself with, and everyone involved uplifted us, and everyone just, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Yes. And the things that we were involved in, everyone just coming together, and all the things that I hosted, I said, this will be a great thing to do. And the first time I tried it out, and let me just I just have to keep going back because it always go back. When I was working in a program, I used to bring kids home. I would babysit on the side. Okay. And the first time that I foster care, one of the children that ended up in my home was a little boy that I used to take care of from the daycare. And he had lost his mom. Lo and behold, he was one of the first children that ended up in my home, because he had lost his mom.
God be the glory.
And he still comes and visit me on today.
Okay. Which area?
And I'm sorry. Not from that point. I'm just so passionate about it, because from that day forward, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is it for me. So from him coming back to me, that child coming back for me from when he was 4 till he was now 16, I said, this is it. This is what God called me to do. And I tried to do it with girls. Yeah. But I said, you know what God said? No, it's the boys. It's the boys. Yeah. It's the boys that need me. Our girls don't, but it's the boys that need us. Yes. It's the boys that need us. What's the programs for the boys? Because it's the boys who need. I don't see too many of the programs for the. It's the boys who's calling for us. Yes. It's the boys who need the nurturing. It's the boys who need the mothers and fathers in the home. Yes. It's the boys who need. I tell my husband all the time, it's the boys who need to see the sons who are going to school, the sons who are finishing school. My sons, I have sons who stand 6'6", and they're doing something. And it's just, and not only that they're doing something, they have tons of friends. And my husband also runs a basketball team, and they're able to come out and see that. And they're just around all of that. Sometimes on Sunday, we all get together, and me and my daughters, we cook, and we serve all of them food, and they're able to be a part of that. And they're able to, and they embrace it. They're able to. And I always tell them, when you come to my home, yes, you're in foster care, but you're not a foster child, you're being fostered because that's what it's about.
Yes. So what is the process of getting these young boys into in your household?
Well, what it is right now is DCF, it's an overload. Like they come because they come into foster care. Children come into foster care because of a number of different reasons. I don't really know if I'm at privilege to say, a lot of times because of if they're having difficulties at home, sometimes they come in because they're not going back home. Sometimes they're in there for short time, for short term. Sometimes they're in there for a long term. I always tell them whatever their situation is, we are going to get them through it. And while you're here, you're family.
Yes.
And let's make the best of it because you need to take care of yourself. We are your parents while you're here. There's no, they don't call us mom, they don't call us dad. And I ask them when we go, because sometimes we have to go up to their schools, we have to bring them to the doctor. What do you want? I am who you want me to be when we go up to the school or when my husband goes up to the school. Because they're teenagers, and I get it. So if the school have seen your parents or maybe they're coming from another foster home, who do you want us to be to you? You want me to be your sister? You want me to be your friend? I get it. Sometimes they say you can be my mom, or you can be my cousin, or you can be whatever. I get it, but I'll be what you want me to be.
Yes. So, Michael, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Well, the question that you asked, like how we get the kids come through DCF, and when they come in, like Belinda said, we treat them like family.
Right.
We treat them like family. Like we treat them just like we would do our own kids. If there's problems, we deal with the problems. If they want to talk about private stuff, we open that up to talk about private stuff. So we just, we like dealing with the young men because nowadays in society, the young men, they have opportunities, but they just need somebody to show them the way.
Yes.
So that's what we're trying to do. Get the young men, teach them how to fill out job applications, keep up like the hygiene, how to go to an interview, Let them be presentable while they're out in society so they can go ahead and make something out of themselves.
Now when you get these foster children, are they all over Massachusetts or just like certain areas like just Rochester, Mattapan?
Right, it depends. It depends. Well, the children that we deal with, that we get right now, they all come out of, like say, the Hyde Park's office. Okay. But they can live anywhere. They can live in Roxbury, Mattapan.
Brockton.
Brockton, it just depends. However, the system, they end up in that particular office in Hyde Park, then we deal with that office, so they send them to us.
Okay. So what is the age range of the men that you have?
We take from, we try to deal with 12 to about 17. Okay. We've had younger, we have 9, 10. See, but we like to take them from 12 to 17. So, like for instance, going to school, because a lot of them are where we live at in Everett, they coming from Boston. They go to school in Boston, and if I got 3 or 4 of them, and I can't get them all to school at the same time. So we got older kids, they know how to ride the bus, they get to school, they get back.
Okay. So they go to school pretty much where they originally came from?
Yeah, most of them, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, that's good. So, you was talking about some stay short time, some stay a long time. How's it like when you actually have to say goodbye to them?
Oh, well, for me, I don't want to say it ain't hard, but I know that we did, while they was with us, we can, so we sent them on out. But with Belinda, it's a whole nother story.
I know the feeling because I used to work in the residential, and some of the kids that you've grown attached to, when they leave, like,
It's It's really hard.
Yeah.
It is.
But like she said, a lot of them, when they leave us, we can see them a year from now, 5 years, they remember us. Come up to me, hey, how you doing, Mr. Mike? And so I'm doing this now. A few of them, one we had, he's a chef. One of them went to be a fireman. So, we've been doing this for over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It hasn't always been, I don't want it to always seem like we're making it seem like roses either, because sometimes, we put them on punishment, and then sometimes I like to do things. I work all week. Mike works sometimes and sometimes I have to put them on punishment too. So I would say, you have to stay in. If they have to stay in, I have to stay in. So it's not always like that,
Okay.
So we do like what we do our kids too.
Yeah. So you had a basketball tournament recently.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain about how did that start?
Well, we figured since my sons all play basketball, I'm a big fan of basketball, and I know through sports you can gather kids.
Right.
You can get any age, from young kids to teenagers. So we figured let's put a tournament together. We did it free, nothing. They didn't have to pay anything, no fees, no nothing. We fed them and everything, and we got a nice group of kids together, and we had a basketball tournament.
So how did you get the kids?
Well, I made some phone calls. I know some coaches. My son and them, they invited kids. We invited kids. And to be honest, it turned out better than I thought it would. It was a whole bunch of kids out there that day.
Well, how many kids did you have?
About 50, 60 kids.
Yeah, about 60 kids. We had about
60
6 teams of kids.
Wow. Well, we're going to take a look at some of the pictures of the tournament that you guys had.
Okay.
And I just, when we look at the pictures, I just wanted to, talk about like what's some of your feelings, what's going on in the pictures and stuff like that. See the pictures.
Okay.
Now that's one of the coaches from one of the teams. That's Larry Merritt. That's for his small team there. That's Merritt basketball.
Okay.
Now, was you a coach?
No, I was just over there overseeing everything.
Okay.
So just keeping an eye on everything, make sure the tournament ran smooth. It's the winning team there.
Okay, and what age group is that? Is that a certain age group? Or
Yeah, that was 12 and under.
12 and under?
Yeah.
And I see Belinda over there all smiling and happy up in the back.
Yeah. Picture, that's me, my daughter, Belinda. That's my son in the back, like next to the guy in the red hat. Mm-hmm. And my other son, he got the ref shirt tied around his head, but that's my other son too.
Okay.
And that was the staff. That was everybody who helped us out with it.
Oh, you want to say some of their names? You want to give a shout out to them?
That's the one with the medal right there next to the girl in the red shirt. Oh, go on, that's okay. But yeah, that was all of the staff.
Wow.
We had a good time, and we hopefully we'll do it annually every year, and as we do it every year, to get better and better.
Well, it seemed like you guys had a great time.
Yeah, we
Yes,
did.
that was a launching to
Yeah,
advertise our organization.
Yep.
All right. Speaking about your organization, now what is your organization exactly about?
Well, the organization is to start to fund. We're trying to get money to get a house so that we can get money to staff these children. Now to house them so that we can get. Right now we are a foster home, but what we would like to do is become a residential program, and not to staff. To house like
Just like
50 kids, but they're always calling us to house more than what we have.
Yeah.
Which is like now we have like 4 boys, but to do it full time, we would like to do something like anywhere between 6 to 12 kids. And to do that takes a lot of money.
Yes, it does.
So
And
that's
also-
what we're looking for. We need something to do 6 to 12 kids.
And also, we don't just want to be just like the ordinary residential program where the kids come, they stay, and they do this. We want to, when they come to us, we want to help, like I said, help them to get jobs, go to school, learn how to fill out if they want to go to college, you know, financial aid, all of that, and then turn them out into society so they can be successful, not just have them and then throw them back and they got nowhere to go.
So somebody is willing to help you on this, like help to the cause. How would they be able to get in touch with you?
Well, right now, if you look, we got a page on Facebook, Sayles-Seldon Boys Inc. And you can also contact us through the email, sayles-seldonboysinc@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, Belinda and Michael, I want to thank you for being my first guest on Going Uptown with Uptown Browne.
We would thank you too.
Thank you.
And I appreciate having you. And I mean, what you guys are doing is admirable. And if I can help out anyway, I know how to get in touch with you, and I'm going because I want to be at that next basketball game.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Going Uptown with your host, Uptown. We are going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to do a little performance by Langston Hughes. And we're back. This is Going Uptown, and this is your host, Uptown Browne, on a debut edition of Going Uptown. Right now, I'm going to talk about one of my idols, Langston Hughes. And I'm going to do a piece from our upcoming performance, the Harlem Renaissance Revisited with a Gospel Flavor. So Langston Hughes was born in Cleveland, Missouri, and he moved to New York in his early 20s. Now, he's had opposition for his writing because he wrote for the common people, and some of the uppity people wasn't feeling him. Uppity black people, I meant to say, was not feeling him. So he wanted to go to Paris, and later on he went to Paris. So in this scene right here, I'm going to talk about that, what's happening with him wanting to move to Paris. Now, I know that I'm on a journey, and I haven't reached my destination. I've got some more traveling to do. I keep writing, and I know that some of it's good, but these folks just look at me like I ain't supposed to be a writer. Well, that's too bad because that's what I am, and that's what I'm going to be. Maybe not here, but over there in Europe, I believe my time will come. Now, I was reading a piece by W.E.B. Du Bois, and he told us colored Americans to wait on democracy. I don't have to wait on democracy. Here's what I think. Democracy, ha ha ha. Democracy will not come today, this year, nor ever through compromise. And I have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on my own 2 feet and own the land. I'm tired of hearing people say, let things take their course. Tomorrow will be a different day. I do not need my freedom when I'm dead. I cannot live on tomorrow's bread. Freedom is a strong seed, planted in a great need. I live here too. I want freedom just as you. We are going to take a little break right quick, and then when I come back, I will talk to the producer and founder of the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program Company, my good friend, Haywood Fennell. See you when we come back. The Micheaux Family Theater Program Company was founded in 1990. Next guest, Brother Haywood Fennell Sr. It continues to attract and improve using the principle of collaboration in the producing of the community. I am honored to be talent and assistant director of the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program Company. I joined this company in 2012, and I have been having fun ever since. But we are coming to the Blackstone Community Theater on Saturday, October 27th at 2 p.m. And I am very excited to be performing in this production of the Harlem Renaissance Revisited with a gospel flavor. Now I would like to introduce my good friend, my brother, Haywood Fennell. Welcome to Going Uptown, brother Haywood.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, Tyree. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, thank
Yeah, I
you.
enjoyed the first half of your show. You know, your guests were good. You're good. You look good.
Well, thank you. I feel good.
Yeah, you know, I love you when you do your piece, you know.
Oh, democracy, man. I love
How come
democracy.
today?
And the same thing could go on today, you know?
Yes.
With all this stuff that's going on in the United States, is there democracy?
Yeah. Hypocrisy.
Exactly.
democracy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Harlem Renaissance.
Glad to talk to it.
So why is the Harlem Renaissance important to us?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Yes, sir.
The Harlem Renaissance is the testament of a people who were determined to have a better life after Emancipation Proclamation, 1863 and 1865, because it came 2 years later in Texas. And these people were the direct descendants of a once captured people, for we were never slaves. Came into the United States at a time when black people were really down and out.
Right.
But we still had the spirit. We were still inspired to believe in ourselves and the talents that God had loaned us.
Yes.
So when we formed the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater program in 1997, our premise for forming this program was to not just entertain, but to educate and to empower our viewing audience, whoever they may be. And since that time, we've been able to perform and grow since 1997. So we've been around since last century.
Okay.
And I want to thank you, take this opportunity on your new television show, Uptown Browne, you know, and talk about your contributions to theater.
Thank you.
Community-based theater. That's what we do, as you know. And so your role has been many in developing where we are today. And we could have never gotten as we've gotten without you and other cast members in the program.
Well, I couldn't get as far as I got without you guys, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it takes two to tango, and without your love and your support and the others' love and support, I would not be sitting in this chair right now.
Well, you have grown quite a bit, you know, because when you find something that you like to do.
Yeah.
Now, I remember you telling me when you played in West Side Story, you know, when you were at Howard, you participated in theater. And so when you left school and got involved, you know, those things were spent.
Yeah.
And so you had to have been placed in an environment where they could be reinvigorated, as was my case.
Okay.
And so the cast grows, we grow, and flow. You know, now we are talking about curriculum development. We're talking about going back out on the road because we've been to other college campuses before.
Yes.
But I say enough about the commitment that you have shown, not just uttered, that you have shown that's made us where we are today. Now, your radio program is great, and it also, you bring in people from our company, bringing people that are involved in theater, because theater is a way of awakening the spirit. It defines who we are as a community. And people go downtown to other plays, and that's good. We want them to see other plays, but we also want them to see what's being grown at home that's just as good, if not better, than they see downtown, because it's about us.
Yes.
Right.
And speaking about us, we're about to go take a look at a video of last year's production of
Oh,
the
really?
Harlem Renaissance. Yes.
Okay.
And it's like a little documentary that was done by our good friend, Steve.
Steve Marks.
Marks, good friend of ours. And we're going to take a break and take a look at the Harlem Renaissance Revisited with a Gospel Flavor 2017.
my children. Lord, they stole my children, and I wished I had never been born. Lord, they treat me so mean. Lord, they treat me so mean. Lord, they treat me so mean. And I wish I had never been born. They stole my children, Lord. They stole, Lord, they stole my children, and I wish I had never been born. Lord, how come I'm here? Lord, how come I'm here? Lord, how come I'm here? I wish I had never been born.
We began to build this story so that people could identify, could better define themselves through their understanding of their culture, and to understand that struggle can sometimes be noble.
Play like Harlem Renaissance, it allows us to, although we take some license with it, C.J. Walker had actually passed before the official, what we consider the official Harlem Renaissance, but it allows you to educate and entertain. I always feel that if one person says, gee, I know the name Langston Hughes, I think I'm going to go do some reading about it.
These are the times for our people, Langston, and we need to give the strength and the power of your words. Speak to us, darling Langston.
It is so good to be home. My mother, God bless her sweet soul, she couldn't even read or write. All she could do was draw a letter X for her signature, and she wanted me to become much better. She always told me never to give up.
And too dark. We're never too dark to do anything because we as a people can explode anywhere we go as long as we're hard into it. Now, if you want to see more of that exciting production that we just showed you, please subscribe to our YouTube page at the Oscar Micheaux, that's spelled M-I-C-H-E-U-X, Family Theater Program Company on YouTube. And you can see plenty of more stuff that we do. Now I'm here with my good friend, brother Haywood Fennell.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm having a great time today.
Yeah, me too, man.
And so let's talk about our production coming up.
Oh yeah, well, we've revised the play.
Yes, we did.
Even though the title is the same, I want to just take this opportunity to thank Monica Anderson Spencer for her involvement in the entire production. As a matter of fact, you, Sister Monica, and I are now Thrice Productions. Thrice spelled T-H-R-I-C-E, meaning three, because of the work and the level of professionalism that we've addressed to make this company what it is today. We are talking in this production coming up for matinee performances only on October 20th, November the 3rd. We're talking about our women and believing in the power and using the power that they have.
Yes.
You know, so there's a good performance by Juju Brown. You know, we have Sky, 15, soon to be 16,
Yes.
performing a double role.
Okay.
You know, we have some new talent. We have Rose Placid, one of your discoveries. We still have Mark Ford, Stanley Thompson, Irene O'Bannon, Deborah Mosley, Gerald O'Bannon. We have primarily Karen Harris.
Yep.
She's with us. We got a great cast.
And we also got some new kids in our program.
We got some new kids.
Oh, that has some excellent talent.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, so we have Ashlyn Suttles, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, she is a marvelous singer.
Yeah,
I mean,
she is.
If you go on our Facebook page too, we have a little sample of her singing the song that she will be singing in our production.
Right.
Our Facebook page is the Oscar Micheaux, that's spelled Micheaux, Family Theater Program.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, that's real good because that's another one of your discoveries. That's another one. You know, met a mother and you got a mother to bring her 2 kids. So you're doing an amazing job in terms of picking out talent for us. You know, we are looking forward. Folks coming out and saluting their history, which is our history. And it's not a mystery.
It's not a mystery.
No, we work real hard. We want to thank the people at the Blackstone Community Center for their years of support by providing us space. We also want to thank the people that were a part of it and moved on.
Yeah,
You know, like Alex Newell, he's on Broadway now,
that's right.
doing Once Upon a Mattress. We have Joe Gonzalez, who's a premier dancer. We have Shaquan Reed. You know, so there's no limits to coming to us because we teach theater performance.
Yeah, and then one of the people you just saw on our last clip, Aaron,
Yeah.
over there in
He's
California.
in Hollywood.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
Hollywood, not just California.
Aaron
Hollywood.
Wilson, right.
Aaron Wilson, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we get an opportunity to help people along the way, and our audience support, you know, has been tremendous. We just want to continue to build. You know, we want to take the material that we have, like you working with it now, like on our Thursday night rehearsals. You know, we want to also mention Melvin Francisco.
Oh yeah, Mellow Mel.
Yeah, Melvin is a gospel singer and he's also a blues singer. And he's well known in the community. He's a veteran.
Yes.
So that's another thing that we got going for us. We have several veterans in our cast.
True.
Which brings me to, if I may mention, the statue project, the Edward O. Gordine statue project that we're working on, bringing this statue that's now in the foundry in Canton that was designed and created by Fern Cunningham Terry.
Yes.
You know, that talks about General Edward O. Gordine and his contribution, but it also is a monument and a testament to the military service of African American veterans from the American Revolution up until the present day.
So for those who do not know, who is Edward O. Gordine?
Oh, great. Edward O. Gordine was a black man from Roxbury, lived in Roxbury most of his life, who went into the military after he finished Harvard Law School. He also is a world champion in that he won a silver medal for setting a record in France during World War II. He served in the 272nd. He got discharged as a colonel, and he joined the Massachusetts National Guard and became a general. He was the first black Superior Court judge. He also was assistant district attorney in government. His granddaughter is the president of the local Boston branch of the NAACP.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And so he is a man that we have put out there. The statue is in the foundry now. And on November the 10th at Grand Amy Church, Reverend
November
Johnson,
11th.
November the 11th, Reverend Al Van Johnson is going to have a sermon, and he's going to dedicate it to us.
Wow.
You know, so we're reaching out to the churches to participate in our strategy as well.
Wow.
And I just want to thank on television the legacy that you represent, Ralph F. Brown, the Jr. And his wife, Wilma A. Brown.
My grandma.
Right,
Yeah.
and all the Browns that are involved in this task. and the folks that they've worked with for the purpose of bringing the statue to Roxbury.
Well, like I always said, my granddad's dream is about to become a reality.
Right.
Because we're this close to getting that up there, this close, and I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can feel it in my heart.
Yes.
So if you would like to know a little bit more of the statue project in Gordines Park,
go on our Facebook.
yeah, they got a Facebook page called Veterans and Friends of Edward O. Gordine.
Yeah.
So check them out.
Statue project.
The Statue Project.
Right.
Please check this project out, and if you can help out.
Give us a call because we're looking for volunteers
Okay.
and interns to help us out.
So what's the number that they could?
They can give me a call, 617-966-9594.
Okay.
Right.
So you got that, and it's right there on the screen. 617-966-9594.
Right, right.
Well, let's get back to our big production coming up, because I am excited.
Yeah, I mean, like we're doing a lot of work with our cast in terms of teaching them that theater is not pretense.
Right.
It's only pretending.
Yes.
To convince people that you're the person that the lines say you are. So we have been developing our method to teach that so that they can become believable and understand the history. Harlem Renaissance was a great time, man. I mean, all of a sudden, you have all these people coming from differences, man. They want to do some stuff, man.
Exactly.
They don't want to just lay around. They want to be in the game. They want to play.
And then one of the things that we encourage our cast members to do is to do their research.
Yes.
Go online, research their
do
character,
that.
know their history. So when
Yeah.
you saying those lines, you can feel what they felt.
Well, look how you do Langston. I mean, when you get on the stage, there's a complete transformation. You're no longer Tyree S. Brown. You are Langston Hughes. And I see it in some of the other casts. And what we try to do is get people to understand the method of acting is important. That you know your character, that you understand what your lines are all about.
Right.
So once you understand your character and what your lines are and what you're supposed to do, that person is educated.
Yes.
Not only entertained, but he's educated. And upon completion of this particular performance, they will be empowered because they will know what power really is.
Exactly.
And what our women are, because this year we're focusing on Josephine Baker when she left, a young woman full of challenge, not going to put up with no more than nonsense about skin color, and go to Europe.
And make a name for herself.
And make a name for herself.
Just like how I did my Langston before.
Yeah.
We're going to make a name for ourselves in Europe. And that was some of the thinking back in the days.
Yeah.
During that time, because, a lot of people, like I said before I did my Langston, the blacks that was underclass, they really felt us.
Yeah.
But then, we have this uppity Negroes.
Yeah, you had that too. Yeah, right, exactly.
Putting, you ain't nothing,
right,
I ain't going to support you and stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know what? I'm going to leave this country, but when I come back, watch how you're going to be treating me.
She came back right. She came, and a lot of them did that, but I don't want to miss Crystal Dotson.
Oh, you know what?
And Eddie Hassel.
Hold on. I got some pictures, because this love about being on TV, the visuals. So you could just see the people that we're talking about, and we're going to talk about each cast member when we check out these pictures. See, you're talking about Eddie Hassel. There we go. Me and him right over there. Langston Hughes and Claude Micael. What was you saying about? Oh, there's Crystal Dotson, our poet right there. And she plays Laura Neal Hurston. Now, what was you saying about Crystal?
Oh, absolutely. She's right on time, man. With her lines, with her portrayal of Zora Neale Hurston. Zora Neale Hurston.
Yep.
Yes, she is that, man. Fantastic person.
Very fantastic.
Yeah.
And there is Ida B. Wells, Sister Karen Harris. Now, Sister Karen, she first started with us as a narrator, but then she evolved, and she is taking that Ida B. Wells
to the next level.
To the next level. I mean, she works hard. She studies her characters like we're talking about, and you should definitely come out there on October 27th and check her out.
Yeah, and I want to thank him, Frank Harris.
Definitely Frank Harris.
Right.
And oh my goodness, there is our Miss Thelma, Claudia Stewart.
Claudia Stewart herself, Miss Thelma.
Yes, you want to say something about her?
Oh, yes, she has come a long ways in terms of her understanding her role, and how to make her presence felt on the stage. It's very important. She takes good directions.
And she brings life to that character.
Yeah, we really appreciate her work.
Oh my goodness, here's my favorite duo right now. We got Minister Deborah and Miss Irene O'Bannon.
Irene O'Bannon, oh my goodness, man. Miss Evelyn.
Yes, Miss Evelyn.
And Minister Deborah is Miss Darling.
Yes.
And they are two really exciting people on the stage, man. You know, they
like I call them, Lucy and Ethel.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man.
Yes. And then is me with Joseph Baker.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Juju Brown, who will be playing Josephine Baker.
A determined young lady, man.
Yes, she is.
She's a great mother. And she's doing a lot of things in the community. And she's also our Josephine Baker.
Yes, she is. Yes.
We appreciate that. We really do.
And there's our narrator right there, Mr. Stanley Thompson.
And stage manager.
And stage manager too.
Right.
So Debonair, look at him.
He's a veteran.
He is a veteran.
Yes, he's a United States veteran out of the Marine Corps.
Yes, he is.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
And Mark Forts.
Oh, Mark Forts, man.
Roland Hayes.
Good man. He is one of the backbones in the company, man.
Yes, he is.
Appreciate him. Thank you for your prayers too, Mark.
Let our people go.
Yeah, go down, Moses.
Way down yonder. And there's his daughter, Sky Forts.
Sky Forts.
Oh,
new star. What a great talent.
Oh, yes.
She's over at Boston Arts Academy doing real good. She made the Dean's List too.
Congratulations, Sky.
Yes, we're proud of you, Sky.
And she's beginning to write her own plays.
Oh yeah, and doing work on the piano.
And before we say goodbye, our friend, good old Melvin Francisco.
Melvin Francisco, yeah, we love you, Melvin. He's a veteran.
Yes, he
United
is.
States Army.
Yes,
That's
and
right.
of course, Sister Monica Anderson Spencer.
Our director, man.
Our director.
Man.
I don't know where we will be without her.
I know where we would be. We wouldn't be doing this show on October the 27th or November the 3rd because she is the energy.
She is the energy.
We need.
Well, I just want to wrap this up by saying these are a couple of coming up in our community. We have homework out at all the Boston public libraries, and
they need it.
They need it, and it's from 4 to 6 every day. Check out your local And this is Going Uptown with your host, Uptown Browne, and I'd love to thank my guest for being here today.
Thank you.
All those who help behind the scenes. And I especially want to thank you for watching. See you October.
Great.